So today's ending, I'll let you take a look. We got a sunset, but today's not finished. So I'm going to talk about the spiritual seventh dimension in this video. Now, I've made a video about the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth spiritual dimensions. And they all overlap one another. Now, the fourth dimension, it was all about all of the subconscious, unconscious, the concept of heaven and hell, all of these things that are built into this reality that we experience here. All of those mental things that are going on in our psyche, in our consciousness. And yeah, I'm saying heaven and hell is going on inside of your mind. You create that inside of you. And I say that because it varies from person to person. One person's hell is maybe another person's heaven. Or one person views it scarier, a lot scarier than the next person. So I'm calling it a mental thing. And then you have the spiritual fifth dimension. Spiritual fifth dimension is the depth of your intelligence. How intelligent you are and how much you can use your mind to make sense of everything you experience. All of that stuff in the fourth dimension, you using your mind to comprehend it and understand it. All of that is fifth dimensional things. Then you have the sixth dimension. And with the sixth dimension, in that video I talked about basically with the sixth dimension, you understand why you learned all of that. You experienced all of that. You evolved through all of that. You learn why you built that immense intelligence, that immense mind. And the reason why was to get love, to experience love. But in the spiritual sixth dimension, love has a lot of different levels. And as love levels up, it changes form almost completely. It becomes unrecognizable the more it levels up. You know, you start, I'll repeat this again, I've talked about it in the previous video, but you start as a child where you want love, you want love, you want love. Everything you do is about getting love. And then you evolve, you grow up, and you begin to understand love and love being reciprocated. And you want love that's reciprocated. You understand, the give and take aspect of it. And then you keep evolving, and you go even further, and you begin to realize that there's love above everything you grew up experiencing. All of your family, all of your associates, all the people that were around you coming up. You realize that there was something bigger than that. You realize that you could use your love to change the world. So there's levels to even the spiritual sixth dimension. So in this video, this is the spiritual seventh dimension. And we're going to take it a little bit higher. And I think it's really important to understand this type of thing. And I'm not just trying to, be too philosophical or religious with what I'm talking about. I think it's important to understand this, and it makes you more powerful through understanding this and how you go about your life and how you interact with people. And I'll get to the reason why in a moment. Now, the spiritual seventh dimension. Now, spiritual seventh dimension, it stands on the foundation of love. You know, the spiritual sixth dimension. It stands on the shoulders of that. But it's not exactly love. It's something even bigger than love. We're going even bigger than love. You know, you kind of wonder, like, how can we go even bigger than love? But we can. We can go even bigger than love, and we're about to. Now, when we want love, when you're looking for love, it's very easy to think about just you wanting to receive it, and you want. And I'm not just talking about romantic love. I'm not just talking about friendship love. I'm not talking about brotherhood bonding, sisterhood bonding. All these different loves, they're all important. They all feel really freaking good. I'm talking about we're going way past all of that. We're going to a higher level. We're going past all of that. So I want you to think about, and I'll use today's present day situation going on right now. We have a war going on, and with this war, you know, I look around on the internet, and I even think to myself, and I'm kind of ashamed of my own thoughts sometimes. Sometimes I have to chop down my own thoughts. Yeah, it gets ugly in here sometimes. And from what I've seen and what I experience is that people have a lot of different points of views on what's going on today. And you would think that everyone would just be like, yeah, we just want it to end. We want world peace and blah, 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 blah. But that's not the case. That's not the case. Some people are thinking that has nothing to do with me. This is not important. Some people are thinking these are them fighting against each other. Some people are thinking, okay, they did this to us, so I don't care. And some people are thinking they treating them like this, so they deserve what they're getting. You see what I'm saying? So it gets really ugly, and I'm guilty of doing some of this thinking. And I have to check myself on some of it. So what's the point? What am I talking about with all of this? The spiritual seventh dimension is seeing yourself inside of other people's bodies. It's compassion. So if you want to touch someone, you want to reach someone, you want to change the world in a certain way, you want to make a big impact, you can go past love. You can do it. You can go past love. You know, the spiritual fifth dimension is the mind. Spiritual sixth dimension is love. We can use compassion. We can see ourselves inside of that other person. And when you do that, it changes everything. So I'm going to go back to something I was talking about just a moment ago. If you're looking for love, you can't find love. The easiest way to get that love that you're looking for is to put it out, because there is a deficit of love out in the world. So if there's a deficit of something, all you got to do is add to that deficit, and it feeds back into you karmically. And I'm not just speaking this, esoterically, because I mean it does work esoterically. Whatever you put out, you get it back. It comes back to you. And when we talk about the subject of love, it's really kind of hard to like believe that like that, because it's so personal and you feel it so deeply. So if you don't take anything else from this video, I guess the overall underlying message is that when you look into another person's eyes, look deep inside, look deep into their eyes. Look deep into their eyes, and don't see another person. See yourself. See your own needs, desires, wants, vulnerabilities, strengths, weaknesses, etc. So the spiritual 8th dimension is compassion. And this is really, really, really powerful. Not even just on some like preaching religious stuff. This is really, really powerful. When you start doing that, it changes everything. You want to talk to someone and they seem unapproachable, or they seem just way too different from you, boom, if you got to use some visualization, you feel ridiculous doing it, you can do that. You can just look at them and just morph them into you. Oh, this is me. And then you talk to them as if they were you. And something that simple, a visualization technique that simple is really profound. So I'm going to stop right here, and I hope you see the value in the information that I'm speaking to you, and the value of what I'm saying in this video. And again, we added levels upon levels. I made a video about the 4th dimension, and then the spiritual 5th dimension it superseded the 4th dimension, and then the spiritual 6th dimension superseded the spiritual 5th dimension and the 4th dimension. And the spiritual 7th dimension, it is doing the same thing. You just got to understand and realize the importance, the power of what I'm trying to express to you here. So I'll stop here. Thank you so much for watching my video. A lot more coming. I'm having a beautiful day. I'm out enjoying the sun. It's setting. It's beautiful. It's setting. And you here with me to see it set. I love you all. Y'all take care of yourself.